Hey guys, it's Taku. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. It has been a sad time for Yuri on Ice fans. I'm sure a lot of you guys have found out that Ice Adolescence is cancelled. I really don't have any happy things to say about that. It's been awful being led around like a horse with a carrot on a string, and just like 7 or 8 years just kinda went to nothing. So naturally what I did was rewatch the entire series as soon as I found out. I think Yuri on Ice is the only show these days that I can properly like sit down and binge watch. Not that long of a series. I mean, really, it's the same length as any 12-episode series, but it has a momentum in it and it has a draw to it that really feels natural, really feels energetic. I think that's partially just the nature of anime that have sports themes in them. It naturally builds up to this really big competition, and so yeah, the whole time it feels like training, try and fail to get to the end. And boy, does the end not disappoint. Even on a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, I don't even know how many times I've seen this series. It's right up there with Evangelion, if you know me, for being those shows that I kind of watch maybe every 2 years, depending on how I can clock it in my schedule. Every time it comes around, I feel the same wonderful, fluttery feelings that I did so many years ago. I was online, like wired into the internet when Yuri on Ice aired back in 2016. I was so in Twitter and it caught everyone by storm. I was retweeting all of the fan art. I was liking every single post. It was nonstop. And I think that's when I realized for the first time that I love being on Twitter, as crazy as that sounds. But it also paved the way for a lot of friendships that I have. I traded merch with some people like in real life or like overseas, I guess. And I still have a lot of those connections today. So it's one of those shows that has a fandom to it that has a real heart. And it's one I never take for granted. I really don't. Even if you are watching Yuri on Ice by yourself, it's wonderful. It's so inspiring. But anyway, instead of fueling all of my negative rage into some kind of overly dramatic blog post or YouTube video, which I probably would have done, I took drastic monetary measures and bought the whole series on Japanese Blu-ray. If this is gonna be the time to own it, it's gonna be because Ice Adolescence got canceled. So we're gonna start with the US Blu-ray. This is the limited edition that Funimation put out. It's really shiny. I've grown to like the packaging of this a lot. It kind of stuck spoilery art on the cover, and it feels a bit maximalist, and I will say that about I think every single US anime limited edition. There's just way too much going on. But I've grown to like it. It's been on my shelf now for so many years. And in terms of content, there's actually some decent stuff in here. Like the art book is packed. There's also these little lines, I don't know if you can see, it's the History Maker lyrics on the inside lining of the box art. Here is the Blu-ray. It is got some character art on the front, and then one of my favorite visuals on the back. It's got everyone. So all of your favorite skaters can be admired through the wonderful character art on this. I'm a bit embarrassed to show the inside of the case. Not because of the Victory bath art, but because I gutted the DVDs. I did this huge project where I took all of the DVD copies of shows that I had and I put them into a separate kind of travel bag. Now I have 2 copies of shows when I go back home or when I stay at my current living place. It's actually really nice. So I recommend doing that if you have extra discs just lying around. But the art book is probably like the big draw to this because it contains, aside from a lot of like really nice poster artwork, there are translations of all of the smaller notes that the Japanese Blu-ray makes. There's a bunch of these little like fun behind the scenes, they call them topics on here, but they go into English translation in this. Also have some artwork from the magazines. I believe it's Midsummer Night's Dream inspired, which by the way, I'm a huge Shakespeare fan. Here is some more artwork on the inside. There's better unboxings on YouTube if you want to go check this out. I just kind of wanted to show you what we're dealing with here. This is more of the Japanese artwork. For the Blu-rays, some of these kind of like line art or Genka sketches also are in the mini art books that I will show you from the Japanese set. So yeah, lots of really great artwork. There's even interviews. There is one with the choreographer for the skate set pieces. His name is Kenji Miyamoto, so you'll find that in here. Also interviews with, of course, the character designer and creative team behind it, Mitsuru Kubo Sensei, and the director Sayo Yamamoto. So if you've ever seen other works from her, you're already knowing you're getting a good show. And the front of the booklet, because I'm going backwards, is character artwork and little information about the voice actors, height, weight, date of birth, standard Japanese art book stuff. It's pretty comprehensive. I really like it. I also have a poster of this. For like 4 years of my life, I had a giant like door-sized poster. It's a hot pink car, and it's been on the back of my closet door for years. I finally took it down when I moved, but I still have it. Still love it. The Japanese Blu-ray is so pretty. Ta-da! I thought it was going to be matte because a lot of Japanese Blu-rays are matte, but no, it's actually quite shiny and reflective. I have the main characters on the front with Victor, Yuri, and Yurio. And then the spine and the back actually feature 2 versions of all of the other characters. So you have Pichit up here, you have Sungil here, and there's 2 versions of all of them. AJ is down here, and I think that's Leo there. Otabek is right here. Chris is taking up a lot of the spine. I just love all the characters. Like, this is one of those few shows that I genuinely love with my full heart, my full being. I love every single character in this show. Are all given their arcs in very respective and beautiful ways. Some of them are funny, some of them are tragic, but all of them are so well-meaning and they're not cheated on. At least in my opinion, they're not cheated on. So shout out to the box art because it's very pretty and very shiny, and now it can sit on my shelf. I think I'm gonna have this side out. Here are the 6 Blu-rays that it comes with. They're all standard DVD size, so if I take all of these out, I can go through them one by one together. So this is the first one. It has Victor and Yuri on the front. I like the gold foil on the top. I like the artwork. It really reminds me of back when the series first aired. A lot of it was like character art on Twitter, and so I would find it and retweet it and save it and download it and even print it, and I had prints all over the back of my door, guys. It was a mess. And that was all before the giant Yuri on Ice hot pink car poster. So we've been in this for a while. We've been in it for a while. The discs are also very reflective. Rings around the edges all correspond to different characters. So I think Yuri's is this blue color, and then there's a teal here. That's Victor's color. The backs are pretty plain, but the art book on the inside, or as they call them, the season guides, are pretty in-depth. And this, again, is like translated almost 100% in the English release. So really, if you get the English Blu-ray from Funimation, you'll have all of this. But again, I bought this all because I was depressed and sad and angry and frustrated and needed to spend some money, apparently. But there's the interview. I think the first one is with Kubo Sensei. I think only 2 or 3 of the interviews got dropped because they include 3 of them in there. I think 3 of the interviews are not included. This is the second one, and I dare say it has my favorite art on the front. I like Yuri's really like lighthearted expression, but then Yurio looks so embarrassed. The inside, so Yurio's color is yellow, of course. And once again, it comes with the little season guide. A little bit more about his character, and then more of those like little background notes. So this one talks about like the Nishigori family. This one talks about Yuri Katsuki's parents, and then these are more of those like topic notes. The interview, of course, is on the back page, so this one has the choreographer. Here is the third Blu-ray. This one has Yuri Katsuki, Guanghong Ji, and Pichit Chulano. Back looks pretty standard as all of the others. The text here actually does not change. The inside has 3 different colors for the 3 different skaters. I love this illustration of Yuri as he's holding the end pose. I believe it's the end pose for the routine. I don't think I mentioned it, but like standard Japanese Blu-rays, each disc has 2 episodes on it. So here we start to get into, I think it's the Cup of China. So we also have Georgie, and we also have Leo de la Iglesia. And I'm looking through this and I'm just remembering the lyrics to Still Alive and trying not to lose my entire mind. Guys, this show just means so much to me. Like, it means so much to a lot of people, but it really did shape a huge part of the way I interact online with people. Looking back on it, I'm surprised this was not the influence that made me want to start an Instagram account sooner. But this one has Christoph and Victor on it, so it's got 2 of the senior skaters on it. We love to see it. Inside, we have Pitchit here, looking so splendid and so dandy. Pitchit is like everyone's best friend. Like, I wish I had a best friend like Pitchit. I kind of do, actually, when I think about it in real life. There is someone I can think of. He even lives overseas, so maybe I am Yuri Katsuki. This book, of course, features the characters involved in the next part of the Grand Prix final, and I love this shot so much of Gong Hong here. Some of the other topics that get brought up include the quadruple jump, the Grand Prix series, the kiss and cry here down at the bottom. I actually haven't even talked about any of my actual relationship to skating. I am not a figure skater. In fact, I'm really awful on the ice. But I got heavily involved with skating even more than I was because of Yuri on Ice. I've always been a huge fan of the Olympics, more so the summer than the winter, but then after Yuri on Ice, that quickly flipped. I have followed along through 2018 Olympics, the 2022 Olympics. I realize I opened this one without showing you the front. This one has JJ style. JJ is absolutely ridiculous, a complete and utter buffoon, and he makes this series so challenging, like in a really good way, because I love the energy that he brings, and I love what he did to all of the fandom. Here we go, we have some of the other characters. We have the guy with the cis complex. We have Sungili, which I think he's such an underrated skater. To be fair, he only shows up for a few minutes, but so much personality in his silence. Series by this point, of course, is getting really, really intense. Anyway, back to the Olympics. Yeah, I've been following that for a while. I have a lot of skaters that I follow on social media because in part of Yuri on Ice. And when I think going back to 2016, if I was interested a little bit in skating before 2016, and then during 2016 it went really crazy. And by 2018, yeah, I was skating otaku. Following and liking and retweeting so much stuff. I miss those days, honestly. It was really, really fun. And don't get me wrong, you can still go on and love and support. I still follow all of these people. But recently, as in just this past week, my favorite figure skater, Shoma Uno, just announced his retirement, and that actually broke my heart. I have been following Shoma. Oh, here is the last one, by the way. It's the same cover as the American release. I have been following Shoma since 2016. He has just been my absolute favorite. I have been rooting for him at every competition. My opinion, he is the epitome of the underdog, because he's kind of short. And not that male skaters are short, but I can imagine that there are challenges and certainly probably advantages to being shorter. I'm thinking about rotations. I wonder if you could just pull in tighter and get more rotations in, but I don't really know anything about physics. I do know is that I will miss Shoma Uno like crazy, and I will have to follow him on everything that he is doing now that he is hopefully enjoying his retirement. It's just so sad. Here is Team Yakov. I love the Russian team. Oh yeah, here is Grand Prix final stuff. So obviously there's spoilers all over this video, so go watch Yuri on Ice. It is such an amazing show, obviously, but that's not the only thing that I ended up buying from my Ice Adolescence depression. I also went ahead and picked up the Yuri on Ice concert DVD. I think I was able to pick this up for $20 or $30. I really lucked out with this one. I think I have seen this, or I have seen most of this before. It's from 2017. That's what the date on the back says. The inside looks just like the Blu-ray. The seller even included the back art with it. The seller said this was a used Blu-ray or used, I guess, DVD. This thing was basically brand new. Oh look, it is Blu-ray. So this is the concert Blu-ray. Not only that, it came with a book. There is a lot of character art. Also goes into some of the feature guest soloists, or maybe key members of the orchestra, vocalists, and a breakdown of all of the individual tracks for the different skaters. All of this is in Japanese, so I can't read it, but I would love to sit down and work with a translator one day and read through this. It is in regards to love, Eros. This actually changed my life. Eros Yuri became my personality for so long. Now I'm more of a free skate Yuri, but Eros Yuri, here is some artwork on the bottom there. My camera really doesn't like to focus on anything, so if you saw it, great. And here is that front cover a little bit better for you. They even put Mako-chan on the front, which I think is so cute. We do have one more thing that I just wanted to show you guys. Might have even hauled it on the channel before. It is just the Yuri on Ice art book. It's got a lot of the like sketches and character designs and like the line art stuff. It technically does have some Genka stuff in it, but it's really, really big because it has almost full scans of everything. I think what I'm gonna do is just show you guys some of my favorite pages because this is gonna take way too long otherwise. Here is young Yuri and even baby Yuri. Here is good boy Yuri. Here is Yuri at the beginning of the series. Here is thick Yuri, which is one of my favorite Yuris. Here is even thicker Yuri. This range of Yuris are really, really, really pretty. In fact, so much so that I think I tried to like trace over it to like get an idea of how to draw better, which I know is like a really common thing. You know, you see art that you like and then you take a paper over it and then you just trace. This is my really bad attempt at tracing over it and trying to get it right. Okay, actually it's not that bad. Ooh, here are some good Victor poses. This is glorious Coach Victor with the winter coat. Are you kidding me? Skipping ahead a bit, here's good boy Pitchit. I know there's also some really good landscape shots and like settings, so let me go ahead and try to find those. Okay, so here is one. This is Hasetsu. At least it's the hot spring. Utopia, that's what it was called. There are more shots of the inside. This is the castle shot that is in the beginning of the series. Here is the inside of Ice Castle Hasetsu, which is where Yuri does all of his practices. It's also where the face-off match between Yuri and Yuri happens in episode 3. This one here is my favorite, probably. The street, or the bridge, I guess, that leads to Hasetsu Castle right up there. This book is still widely available in print, and so I recommend if you like Yuri on Ice, go get this. I have definitely lost many hours looking through it and listening to the music. And speaking of music, I'll probably be picking up the soundtracks here soon. I had a vow to myself that I would always listen to Yuri on Ice digitally because the characters like always listen to things digitally. But I think at this point, I just need to own everything that is Yuri on Ice. So I might try to go out and get those 2 soundtracks. Pretty much all I had. I just wanted to show you the impulsive purchases that I made because Ice Adolescence was canceled. But I don't think they were actually that impulsive because I've been looking at this for so long, and the concert DVD was something, I mean, I just love the music so much, and yeah, I think I'd actually seen it before. So I'm due for a rewatch. If you have any happy or sad or just good memories with Yuri on Ice, please leave them down in the comments below, because I'm not sure how long this rambly vlog is going to be. I really hope I captured some of the love and passion that I have for this series. I've written about Yuri on Ice a lot on my blog, so if you're interested, go check out some of those thoughts. But oh, the fact that this is where the story ends and will forever end as far as we know, I can be content with that. It really is a good ending. It is one of my favorite endings, actually, like ever. And that's totally not a bias that I have. I very rarely record face videos because it takes a lot of work, but I was just feeling the energy. I was feeling the pep today. So I got in front of the camera just for you guys. Keep on watching, rewatching, reloving Yuri on Ice each and every single day. And I will see you next level. Bye!